Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Passionately Speaking. This is our weekly masterclass where we talk about public speaking, both beginning, middle, and advanced features in public speaking. And today we're going to talk about how to give your speech, i.e. your signature talk, a tune-up. Now, what happens when we tune up our car? Right? It runs better, it's smoother, it saves on gas and oil, it lengthens the life of the car, right? The car lasts longer. Well, guess what? That's exactly what we're going to learn to do today, because we want our signature talk to live long after we do, or long after we give it anyway. We want it to be memorable. We want it to be stretched out. We want it to last. We want it to be evergreen. And we want it to have meaning and purpose, even for years to come. So we got to keep it fresh. So I'm going to share with you 10 ways that you can keep your signature talk, your speech, fresh and tuned up. So we're going to go to PowerPoint right now. So I'm all queued up. I'm just going to share my screen. Share my screen. All right, everybody sees that. How to give your speech a tune-up. Whoa, yeah. All right, so we see most of the time when we do a tune-up, we tune up cars, we tune up especially old cars to keep them running. This old car example looks great because not only is the engine tuned up, but the outside has been tuned up. The wheels have been tuned up. The cover's been tuned up. It's been kept clean. And that's exactly what we want to do with our speech. Not just tune up the inside, but tune up the outside too. So we're going to do that today. All right. So I want you to think to yourself in your own speech. Have your speech in mind, and I want you to think to yourself, how can I keep my speech fresh and ready to go? Because you see, if you've had an old car and you haven't tuned it up, then the next time you get in it to turn the engine, it just may not turn over. It just may not run. And that's the same with your speech. Maybe it just doesn't land. Maybe it's something you just go, oh, I don't even feel like delivering it. So we want to make sure that it's something that you're excited about, just like your car where you step in and you want to turn the wheel and you want to cruise it and drive it and everything's great inside and out. So ask yourself, how can I freshen up my speech? All right, so I'm going to give you the top 10 ways to give your speech a tune-up. Number 1 is to rework your professional story. Yes, rework it. Doesn't mean to throw it out and start all over. It just means to make sure you're looking at it. Make sure it's not too long. Make sure that there isn't information in there that's not relevant to who you're talking to, your present audience, and or what's happening now in the world or in your life. So every once in a while, we have to take a good look at it and refresh it. Used to be people would tolerate longer stories, especially personal. Not now, and not in this virtual world. So we need to say more in less time. Now, a professional story can get stale. In other words, we've said it so much, it can be automatic. When that happened to me several years ago, I was giving my presentation like I always do, and one of my business partners were in the audience, as he always is, and must have heard my speech and my story probably hundreds and hundreds of times. And this one particular day after my speech, he came up to me and, as you know, honestly said, and I'm so thrilled and happy he did, but he said, Arvee, he goes, you weren't connected to your story. You were just on autopilot sharing your story. And I was like, what? Are you kidding me? I was, oh my goodness. No, that's the last thing that I want to do. And so I took a look at it, what I was saying, thought about it, and he was absolutely right. So I went back to the drawing board. I freshened it up by putting relevant stuff in for today, getting rid of maybe old stuff that didn't apply anymore. And I got reconnected, because sometimes we can say it so automatically, we do disconnect. The way you tell your stories is to not only be connected, but you have to tell your story as if it's happening now. Not that it happened 20 years ago or 30 or 40 or whatever it was, but that is happening now. You take your audience on a journey with you, on a journey, walking them through the journey that you once took, and get connected with your story. Now, I had a client also several years ago, and before she started working with me, her whole story was a testimonial, and she wasn't connected. She had 2 sons that died in a car crash and nothing. I'm like, how do you feel about that? You see, we don't have to be on stage and blubber and all of that, but we want to be connected to the emotional experience of what our story is about, or it makes us look like we're either desensitized or that we just don't care. So she worked with me, went in my mastermind, worked with me for a year, and we got her reconnected to her story. And this was Angela, who some of you heard that she was speaking on my stage at one of my events, and one of my friends is a movie producer and offered to produce her movie. Now, if she was not connected with her story, that would have never, ever happened. So that's why it's so important for you to be connected, reconnect if you need to, and make sure that your story, you're telling it the best that you possibly can. Number 2, bring in new updated testimonials. Now, I'm guilty of this too, because sometimes you get a really great story and you don't want it to end. It's part of your speech. So you share that testimonial over and over again. And I'm not saying that's bad or to throw it out with the dishwater, right? I'm saying sometimes bring in some new ones to mix it up. You don't have to get rid of that one, but put new ones around it, and or change up the story if it doesn't apply to your audience. So if you're speaking to an audience full of real estate professionals and you're talking about a story about salespeople, it doesn't jive. You have to share stories about realtors that worked with you and then they sold more houses. That's what they want to hear. So make sure your testimonials, or what I call success stories, are relevant to your audience. So that's one way that you can bring in new updated material. And number 3, redo your PowerPoint, for heaven's sakes. Are you using the same PowerPoint that you have for years and years? And it's easy to do. Believe me, it's easy to do. I did it too. I've done it too. But years ago, I was in Texas. I was speaking in Texas and San Antonio, Texas. And I was speaking in again years ago, and I had a few clip arts on mine, right, that I've used for years. And I remember someone saying clip art is dead. And I was like, ooh, I didn't know that. So I quickly got rid of the clip art and, of course, put photographs instead. But again, this was years ago. It wasn't yesterday. It was a good, 10, 15 years ago. But just make sure that you're current. And now when you're current with the latest PowerPoint, they have these really cool designs that you can use. You don't have to worry about designing your own, but you can if you want to. But just take a look at your PowerPoint. And if you have anything on there, like a sentence that needs a period, or if you're tempted to period something, put in, some punctuation, it's time to get rid of it and put a picture instead. That's what you want to do. All right, number 4, change your attention grabber. I teach 3 different attention grabbers, and many of you know what they are and have used them. But what if you changed it up? Like if you are using enrolling questions, maybe you want to change those enrolling questions to something else, or to something current, or spice it up a little bit. Or maybe you just want to change it to a statistical statement, or a statement of your own truth, which I call statement of declaration. So play with it, play with them. You don't have to use the same one, even though that's the one you might have started with. Change it up. Number 5, change your call to action, your invitation. Maybe there's something else that you can offer. Maybe there's something exciting that you can offer instead of just that same old PDF that you've been offering. Maybe it's a copy of your book. Maybe it's a PDF of your book. And I know some people have offered a chapter. I'm sorry, but I'm not giving you my email so that you can email me for a silly chapter in your book. I want the whole thing or forget about it. So remember, it's a lot harder to collect emails in this environment than it used to be just picking up business cards. So you really have to have something exciting that will tantalize your audience and motivate them to put their email, their precious email, in the chat, because most of us get hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of emails every single day. So we're very cautious now. That's number 5. Number 6, practice in a different way. And I know this is new to you. And this is what I mean by that, practice in a different way. And I am going to just skip out because I've got a dog who will not stop barking. So I am practicing in a different way. And no, I did not leave him out there. He went out one door, but he wants to come in a different door, right? All right, so practice in a different way. What does that mean? Now, most of the time when I practice, I walk around my office, I'm practicing, I've got my outline in hand, pen in hand, and then when some inspiration comes to me, like a story or something I can do, then I write it down, I jot it down, and incorporate it in my next rehearsal, my next practice. But what I'm talking about a different way is, let's say, and I do this in my training classes, I will put up signs, and the sign, so somebody's doing their speech, right? They're going along doing the speech. And then the sign I give them is do something different, right? And they have to do something different. Or it might be talk slower, and they all of a sudden talk slower. Speed up. And now they're talking really fast, do the unexpected, do this, do that. So you can create that kind of thing for yourself on PowerPoint to where you're clicking and you're just looking at your computer, doing your speech, and all of a sudden you click and you don't know what's coming, and it might say smile, and you're just smiling, right? And I love it because I don't use it for everybody in class, but I use it for those people that seem like they're stuck in kind of a routine or kind of a humdrum. It's a way to break it out. And of course, the whole, audience laughs and has a lot of fun and all of that. So think of a different way to practice. If you practice in front of the mirror, do something different. If you're maybe practice in front of Zoom if you want to. Now, I am not an advocate for practicing in front of mirrors or Zoom or filming because I believe it's a distraction. Because then all of a sudden you're practicing and you go, oh my God, I need to get my hair done, or my bangs are too long, or this or that, and you start becoming critical. That's not what it's about. It's not about you, remember? It's about our audience and what we're going to give them and how we're going to deliver it. So I like to do it away from any kind of filming, taping, any of that, mirrors, windows, but that's entirely up to you. So think about how could you practice in a different way? Maybe you could, if you normally sit down, you stand up. If you normally stand up, maybe you sit down. And I'm not an advocate, just trying to give you some ideas. I really like kind of the PowerPoint and the different things coming up. That really is one of the best ways to practice differently. All right, number 7, use fun props. So don't be afraid to use props in your speech, especially now that we're inside the box. We want to burst out of the box. And how do you do that? You need to use some props. So we use props like glasses, or props like signs, or paddles, or whatever you might have. I held up my book a few times, that kind of thing. So use props. The more crazy, the better. And of course, it's always good if they go along with you, your personality, right? I mean, this is like so totally me, isn't it? I mean, they're red, they're big. I was around during the Hobo Kelly time, right? I see CJ, I see Dr. Renee. I mean, it just have some fun, but be true to yourself. If you're not a goofy person, and you don't want to stretch a little into goofy, then that's okay. I didn't used to be goofy. Oh boy, I was from corporate America. You were not goofy in corporate America back in the 80s and 90s. No, that was not an upward mobility move. But now I am, because I'm comfortable in my own skin, I'm confident, and I'm older, so I don't really care anymore like I used to. I'll be goofy. So have some fun with some props. And again, you don't have to use goofy props, but there's a lot of different props you can use. All right. Add some improv. Now, this is really, really exciting. Now, I don't know how many of you have taken improv, but I recommend it. If you never have taken improv, after you take all your speaker training, jump into an improv class, because that will teach you how to do things on the spur of the moment, on the fly, and like things you didn't even know you had in you, right? Crazy things. And that's what we want to add to our presentation. Now, I've taken years of theater before I ever started my speaking career. And I believe in theater too. Take a theater class, take an improv class. It will just add to who you are and what and how you deliver it. It'll help you to free yourself from yourself, if you know what I mean. It just freeing and fun, and it's a lot of fun. Number 9, play with the audience. And what I mean by that is don't be afraid. You can stop the share at any time, talk to your audience, tell jokes, have a good time, pick someone out that you know that will participate, and have some fun, right? Maybe they're wearing funny hats, maybe they're a Charger fan, who knows? But have some interaction and some fun with some of your audience members, because remember, when you do, people live vicariously through that person. So you don't have to do it to everybody. Do it to 1 or 2 people, and then everybody will feel the love and feel the humor and feel the fun and the excitement and laugh and goof around right along with the both of you. And number 10, add more audience participation. Of course, all we see is chit chat, chitty chat chat, chit chat chat. I'm as sick of chatting as I am of breakout rooms. So don't think of something different, for heaven's sakes, right? Instead of just chat. You know, to me, some of the chat nowadays has really gotten out of hand, where it's almost like you're talking to somebody next to you instead of listening to the speaker or listening to the person that's introducing themselves, right? So you have to be really, really careful of that you're not upstaging, that you're not taking somebody away from what is happening in front of you. So when I say add more participation, I'm not talking about chats. I'm not talking about Zoom rooms. I am talking about something different that you can do, something you could do as a group, something, ways that you can have people raise their hand, real quick ways people can chat. So one of the things that I do in my Tuesday networking meeting is I always have one fun thing that people say after their self-introduction. So today it was like, what is your favorite Valentine's gift? Oftentimes I'll say, what is your favorite Thanksgiving dish? What's your favorite pie? Halloween, what's your favorite candy? Right? Or what makes you cool? Which is another one that I love to use, and I use that at least once a year. What makes you cool? Right? And it just spices it up and gets more audience participation other than their usually boring 30-second introduction. So think about that. Think of ways that you can mix it up, change it up, and still give everybody an opportunity to participate. All right, so that is our lesson for the day. One last thing before I open up the call, and I'm going to open it up to you. You can ask me questions. You could talk about what we just talked about, or you can pass, but this is your opportunity to get coaching from me. So don't forget though, don't forget, on March 11th, there's the next Speak Up, Get Clients, 9 o'clock to 5:30. Many of you are already registered. If you've gone once before, you have a lifetime that you can continue to go. If you've never gone, then you just pay $47. Big whoop, just to make sure that you will attend. And then you've got a lifetime after that. It will be recorded also, but I want you to attend because I want you to participate. All right, so that is our lesson for today. Excellent. So we are going to open it up for any comments or questions, and I'm going to call you in the order that you came on the call. All right. And thank you, CJ, for putting that in there. And CJ, guess what CJ is going to do on the 11th? Guess what he's going to do? He's going to do our music. Woohoo! And I've never had music at the one day. Never had, not even when it was live and CJ came. Many of you came. So first time, music. So it's a big deal. Again, constantly trying to make things better. So we're going to have a ball. So you got to come and just have a ball with us. All right. So we're going to call on Dr. Love Renee. Dr. Love. Dr. Love.
Okay, good.
Renee.
Okay, I just love this. I just love this. I keep it in my day timer. It's a little Chanel book cover, and it's a perfect thing. I keep it nice and neat and clean. So I want to use it like in here, RV. Just I think of you all the time. So pull this up. It's like really nice.
And you can use it for other meetings. So don't be shy.
Okay.
I mean, it often serves as a fan.
Oh, because then we could put our glamour on. You know, the glamour.
Glamour
on. Okay. Okay. So I have a couple of questions, and oh, by the way, I love the 10 things that you just shared, and this is very good for updating, and this is a perfect thing for Tuneup. Now, I've been getting busier. My husband Jim's been getting busier, and I keep saying to myself, I'm a technology genius and social media queen. So all I've been saying on social media is happy birthday, a little emoji, congratulations. And I got to learn to get into the groove and connect with everybody on a deeper level. But I have to connect and put time into it in my day, carve out on my schedule. Because you can definitely go off. I saw a Carlos Santana video. Go, oh, I gotta watch Carlos Santana or Earth, Wind, and Fire. What a great video! And I go look, and it engrosses me. If I don't watch out, and that's 30 minutes of Carlos Santana and Earth, Wind, and Fire. I can't do that. It's the middle of this is revenue producing activity time.
Right.
So here's a question. So I have a couple of questions. Do you? I know you're on social media. Do you carve out a schedule in your day? And I know you're very busy. That okay, from 9 to 9:15 or something like that, I'm going to be on social media. And then do you have a destination? Like I'm going to add on 10 people today or 12 people. What is your programming of how you do this? So you organize your time so you're very focused.
Okay, so
that's one question. I have one more.
Very good question. I do mine without the heavy duty brain power, heavy duty lifting. I would never do it at 9 or 9:30. That's my supercharged brain power. So I do it at 5:30. Like I'll do a little bit after this call. Never do it when you're with your best brain power. Use that to close clients, to coach clients, to, do money-making activities. Anything that really takes creativity. Maybe it's writing an article for you or a blog post or whatever, but do not play around with social media during those times. That's one thing I do. The second thing I do is, of course, my virtual assistant will do the simple things. So a couple times a day, she'll post a public speaking tip, or the video from 21 Success Principles of Public Speaking. So you'll see those kind of things going on. And I had to tell her to stop while Michael was sick and in the hospital. I said, you know what? It feels insensitive, me posting because people are going to think I'm doing it, posting a public speaking tip. So I had to make her stop because she did a few. And I'm like, no, stop, But she does that. And she just started again doing that because remember, she was out of country and now she's back in. So number one, but you're going to have to do some yourself because people need to hear from you, the personal stuff, and you're going to want to make friends and get friends and build up your friendship. You're going to want to look at different groups and belong to different groups. That has to be done by you. No virtual assistant can do that for you or be you for you. Okay.
So on your post that you have like a social media tip, do you have them in an organization file with all the colors and the wallpaper all together?
No.
So she takes it and posts it? No?
I have a Word document with 101 tips, and I've been using those tips ever since social media came out. I don't know, 2006 or 2000, or when did Facebook come out? CJ, do you know? Do you remember?
2004, I think.
2004. I've been repurposing those suckers since 2004. So I just wrote them all out. Now I've gone back and I've given them a tune-up. Yes, I have a couple of times in the years, but I haven't had to do them from scratch. Those are some of those tips are the same tips I used on my video series of 52-week, 30-second videos. Right?
I remember that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
what about your blogs? How often do you blog on your website?
Okay. Now this is
like
exciting. This is exciting because I used to have someone that I would have her transcribe these classes, public speaking, passionately speaking, and put those up in sections, right? And then with the new website, we kind of got off and then I didn't have her do it anymore. So I didn't do anything for years, right? I'm like, who reads that crap anyway, right? I don't know. I don't read it. Good. Well, I hope you're reading my blogs then. Now I hired a firm. And the firm, guess what she does? We meet once a week. No, Race, once a month, right? I tell her kind of the topics I'm going to, I want to talk about this month. She types it while I speak. And then she gives them to me and I edit. It's a match made in heaven because I'm a speaker, not a writer, right? So I have her do it in combination with me. See, the mistake people make is they'll have someone else outsource the blog altogether without your voice. No.
So would that be once a week that you're putting whoever once a week?
Yeah, she
makes
four a month. 4 of them in 1 hour. I'm just speaking it. She'll do 4. Now she doesn't write them all. She does it, after the fact, but she records it and then writes it, puts it down, and I have very few tweaking, but I do want my tweaks in there because sometimes she says stuff that's not my language.
So I call that redlining when you're doing your own editing. I did that with all my books. My editor was giving me something, then I fix it with a red pen. Okay. Thank you for the answer. The next question is
here's the other thing I do, and I don't redline it. I physically type it like I want it and send it to her. She puts it on my website, schedules it, and then guess what I do? I take it and I put it on LinkedIn as an article.
I see.
Repurpose. And then I share it to Facebook, and then I share it to Twitter.
I see. Okay, fantastic. By the way, have you gotten any clients because you reposted it to Twitter and somebody saw it? Okay.
I don't even know if anybody's reading it, but no, I've got no clients from my blog. That's why I don't recommend people be in your first avenue to get clients. The first avenue to get clients is speaking, because this I know works every single time you do it, right? That's a long shot. I'll let you know if I ever get a client or anybody even.
We'll celebrate
on my blog.
We'll celebrate. Okay, another question.
There's other reasons you do that stuff. You do it for what, CJ? Search engine optimization. You let those search engines see you and see you're coming up with new content. So there's other benefits. We can't think of, we do everything because we get clients. There's other benefits that could lead to clients or other speaking opportunities in the future.
Got it. Thank you so much, Arvee, for the answer. Now, I was paying attention to your images, and you're writing the car thing, tuning up your car. You had the writing, and then you had pictures of 3 cars and the mechanics. Is that on Canva or what program do you use?
No.
What do you like?
I just use PowerPoint and I say insert and it says online pictures. I go online, I put in car or mechanic and voila, thousands.
Okay, because right, because I saw a little swoosh, like some sort of design on that first picture. It was 3 cars and then Tuneup your speech. And then some sort of design in the background. You do all that in PowerPoint, is that correct?
Yeah, but I just use the PowerPoint design.
Okay, in a template?
Yeah.
Okay. And do you use ClickFunnels or what program do you use?
No, I used to use ClickFunnels actually for $1 million 5 years ago, but I have Infusionsoft that I'm paying $250 a month for. Well, ClickFunnels couldn't integrate to use my affiliate program from Infusionsoft. So
right.
I'm paying $200 for that. And then they wanted another $300 for their affiliate. That's $500 I was paying for ClickFunnels while my event was going on. And I just said, this is not a good use of money. You know, Bronson is already a rich man, a multimillionaire. I don't need to contribute. So I got rid of both of it.
Infusionsoft and ClickFunnels?
What?
What did you get rid of? ClickFunnels, and you said both of them.
Well, the affiliate program that the ClickFunnels affiliate program.
Okay, got it.
You know, because that was meaning I was spending $750 a month on a website that I was only going to use 2 or 3 months out of the year. It didn't make good business sense.
So what do you use? What do you use for your sales funnel system then?
My sales funnel, what?
Sales funnel system.
I don't have a sales funnel system.
Okay.
Not a piece of software. You're looking at my system. I mean,
you use Infusionsoft.
What?
Infusionsoft.
You use Infusionsoft.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
It's also called Keep.
Well, no, there's 2 different versions. I have the old-fashioned Infusionsoft, the big boy, and Keep is, what would you call Keep, CJ? Kind of the newer, fresh kid on the block.
Would you call it junior?
The junior version. I like
Junior.
that. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, there's a lot of great features that I wish I had, and I keep asking, when are you going to build those into the, you know, the granddaddy? And so they're talking about it, but they just love the new child, so they're putting all the resources in the new kid on the block.
The golden child.
The golden child, yeah.
Chosen one.
Yeah, Angelique has it. She loves it. Jackie, did you get it?
No, I didn't get it.
Oh, okay.
All right, Arvee, thank you so much.
it?
I'm complete. Thank you.
Okay, good. Ardina has it. Ruben, did you get it? Keep.
No.
Okay. Well, you'll still have another chance this next $1 million coming up. Make sure you mark your calendars September 23rd, 24th, and 25th. It's the same dates they were last year, and I'm going to keep those dates now. That'll be standard. I tried to move it around November here and there, and it just doesn't work. I want you to know exactly when it's going to be. 3rd week, 1, 2, 3, 4th week in September. Okay. All right. Let's move on then. CJ, do you have any questions, comments?
Great content today. I took a lot of notes. No specific questions or comments other than I agree with the things you're saying.
I love that. You can't go wrong with that. All right. Let's go to Angelique.
Myself, I agree with CJ. This is great stuff. I'm like, I know that I haven't done much with my speech yet, but I'm going to go back and see what else I can add or change or, you know, move around to make it more interesting.
Right. Always a work in process. Just remember to always stick with the system. Don't try to move, you know, the system itself. That's kind of like, you know, putting your foundation on the roof of the house. You know, we don't want to do that. It'll cave in, but just follow the system. But yeah, move things around within it, change your stories, change your, yeah.
I feel like it can be a little more me instead of a little more face, right? That's what I'm thinking. And then I gotta think of some fun things. What are me? I need to have fun things too. I want some fun glasses.
You know what you could have, my dear, is a little sunflower on the top of your head.
Oh, that would be cute.
right?
big
Somebody has
sunflower.
sunflower hats that
That
you
would be
can
cute.
wear, right? Stuff like that that demonstrate your sunshine.
That's
Mhm.
so true.
Yeah, and it's goofy.
I love being goofy. I'm goofy too.
Good.
I don't think I'll ever change.
Okay, good. Okay, Ardina.
Yeah, this is awesome. Awesome, as always. As always. Today, well, number one, you talked about reworking your professional story. Even though I'm new into my story right now, today, well, normally I've been rehearsing in my house. I'm either right here at my computer or I may go in the bathroom. I do look at myself in the mirror just to see what I'm doing. But today I went walking.
Mm,
I told myself, you know what, just do the speech and there's no pressure. Just relax and just talk it out. And I found that I was connecting better.
good.
I was more relaxed and I actually began thinking about some other things or maybe a better way to say what I'm trying to say.
Good,
Yeah.
good. And you know what? That only comes though because you have practiced for a while.
Mhm.
Don't expect the first time you practice to have all these revelations because you're just learning the system. You're just getting the ropes down, right? You're crawling a little bit. So you're not going to run a marathon immediately.
Right.
So get all that stuff. So now that's the place you're at because you've done the work previously. You practiced, you said you practiced in your chair, you practiced in the bathroom, you practiced, and now you stepped outside. So I love that.
Thank you. And thank you.
Very good. Good job.
Great teacher.
All right. Thank you. All right. Deidre. Deidre's back. Woohoo.
Hi there. I just wanted to add a comment that, yeah, it's harder and harder to stand out with the online Zoom thing and not in person. So everything you mentioned is a way for people to stand out better, especially like what you're going to offer for a call to action, the attention grabber, the props help and improv. So yeah, all those things will add to that. So good information. Thank you.
Right. You're welcome. You're welcome. And again, there's no limit when you think about the props. You just want to make sure your props go with and enhance your message and don't upstage or detract from it. Right. So I wouldn't want to sit here the whole time or mask. Hold on just a moment. Let me show you something. All right. Now, most of the time, ladies and gentlemen, oftentimes when you speak, you'll get a gift. Is that right? How many of you gotten gifts for speaking? Right. They just give you a gift. It might be a flower. It might be a bottle of wine. Who knows what it is? I've gotten all kinds of gifts. Now, this is a gift I got recently for speaking virtually, and it just shows you the sign of the times. Isn't that great? It's all sparkly red. Now
red is good for you. Perfect.
That's the gift I'm getting, and they put it in a little heart bag. But it just shows you the sign of the time, and they mailed it to me.
Yeah.
Okay, so I wanted to show you that, Deidre. So what else?
Yeah. Well, I can't breathe in those cloth masks, so that wouldn't help me much, but I can only wear the blue ones. That's all I can feel good in, but yeah. So thank you very much, Arvee. It was good.
All right,
That's it.
thank you. Now, are you home now? Because you were bi-coastal. Are you home?
Yeah, I'm in California right
California.
now. Yeah.
Okay.
But
But
for
you're
a couple
still-
weeks, and
you're
then I go
still
back
going
to
back-
Florida.
Okay, back to
Yeah.
Florida. Yeah. Well, I can think of worse places. So you're going between paradise and paradise, right?
Yeah.
West
Yeah.
Coast paradise.
Florida's kind of even more so right now because everything's open.
Oh, it is? Oh, how
Oh
lovely.
yeah. Florida, I was in Georgia too. They're both, kids are going to school, restaurants have dining indoors, there's spacing and masks and stuff, but they're not having any numbers problems. So
Oh, lovely.
Yep.
Lovely. Okay, so All right, so Renee just said she had to go. She has to leave her client. Okay, perfect. All right, so next then is Jason.
These were great top 10 ways. I put 3 stars next to the one about add some improv. I felt that for me, this is particularly vital for me because when we're in a conversation with our audience, it's really great to dance with them. And that's and do that freely and not and for me it's really kind of getting out of my sort of boxy analytical nature. The more I have a freedom of self-expression during my presentations, the better I feel. So this makes me more authentic. I'm actually look into that because I know of some comedy classes in Burbank, so I got to find out if they're doing that online.
Oh, comedy would be great too, Jason.
Yeah.
I've never taken a comedy, but I always wanted to. That would be awesome to add to your speeches. Not you, but everybody. Improv, theater, comedy, all of it. Even singing, if you're a singer, because you can always bring that talent to the stage. If you play guitar, if you play an instrument, you can actually play and speak. And now, right? If you did piano or keyboard like CJ, we couldn't bring that piano to the location if you're speaking in Denny's or something, right? But now we can. It's so exciting where we're at.
Yeah, thank you for that. This was great. I'm complete. Thank you so
Let
much.
us know if you take that comedy class and if it's virtual or real, or, maybe we can take it and join you. What fun that would be.
That's great. I'll look into it and let you know. Thank you.
Okay, great. Thank you, Jason. Awesome. All right, Ruben.
Oh, Arvee, wonderful topics. I copy, what is it? The screen, I save the screen.
Oh, good.
Yeah, but you're gonna have those you said in YouTube, or where is it gonna,
Yeah,
if we're gonna,
all on YouTube under Passionately Speaking. And remember, we have a Passionately Speaking group. So make sure you're going to the group and commenting. And I will have Beverly, my assistant, put the YouTube there after every week so that it's convenient. That's something I'm going to start doing. I just don't have the time, but I can have her do it.
Yeah, great. Do you know, like I purchased that program called Doodly. Have you heard of that? I've been playing with that. Do you think it's a good idea? I wanted to show you what I did, but I don't know if I can share with the screen. But,
okay, so what program are you talking about? What do you want to share?
It's called Doodly. You can play with the graphics and words and
yeah. Okay,
you
so
can do voiceover.
You want to show it to everybody?
Yeah, so maybe I can get some feedback,
Okay, how long will that take?
It's a couple of minutes.
Okay, let's finish up with everybody and then we can do that. I can send everybody on their way if they want to, or they can stay if they want to. Okay, sound good? Yeah. Right at the minute till. Okay, perfect. All right, yeah, we want to see it. Thank you. All right, Jackie. Jackie's got red on. Woo, woo, woo.
Yeah, I do, and I got inspired. So I'm talking about heart health this week. So
I love it.
And I'm also encouraging people to eat more fish.
Ah, that's a good prop. I love it.
Inspired me to be more creative and search to find fun things. Today was really great teaching. Do you have somewhere in, all the things we've been learning, how you post a video to from Facebook to YouTube? Is that on the Facebook class or where was it?
Yes, it was in the Facebook class that you took, but if you want to, I can do that training next week for everybody, because probably a lot of people forgot how to do it, and it's so easy if you know all the steps, but if you miss a step, then it's frustrating. So we'll do that. If you can wait 1 week, we'll do it next week.
Yeah, I'm finally getting in gear and finally realized that I actually, with Gmail, you have a free YouTube channel, which I didn't even know. You just go into your profile and pop it up. So I've been procrastinating on getting a YouTube channel until the person that is helping me with my book said, "Oh, just go in and do it on in your Google Chrome." And it's like, oh, that was easy.
Yeah, well, everybody has a free YouTube channel. It doesn't cost anything unless you want the premium where you don't have the ads. Yeah. But Google owns YouTube, or YouTube, right? Right, CJ? Google owns. So that's why the Gmail account works so seamlessly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, good for you that you got it. Let's give her all a big hand. Yay. Woohoo. The world needs more health tips. They need more health videos. So I'm glad you're going to be on there. I thought of you today. Every day I eat my salad. I had 3 red things today for lunch. Not
Right.
2, but 3 red things.
I'll send you something to help you even more with that.
Okay, please do. Please do. Excellent. All right, Benita Joy, are you with us today? You come in, you go out, you're on the moon, you're on the earth.
No, I'm actually sitting here. But if you had 3 red things for lunch, were you eating your words? Never mind. You read them and then you ate it was an attempt.
No, it was salad, tomato, bell pepper, and radishes. Of course, the radishes, I'm like, is it white or is it red? Does it count for white or red? I couldn't. So I thought you'd have the answer, Jackie.
Well, that's funny. Well, I have 2 questions. The first one is I've been asked again to be area director at Toastmasters. This is the 3rd year and I've turned them down twice. Do you see any benefit to that?
Yeah, I was, we called them governors back then. So I was area governor, and then I went to be division governor, and I won division governor of the year. I had 47 clubs and most people only have 25. I had 7 other area governors and 7 assistant area governors, and I had a ball. So the disadvantage is it does take a little extra time, which will come out of your business. Right? But I think it's a great experience in leadership. It's a great experience in kind of running things. And of course, running contests. Of course, when I did the contest, of course, I did theme contests, they don't do that now. They've taken all the fun away. And, it's on Zoom and it's not as much fun as it used to be. But when I did it, boy, I brought in the food. Of course, people paid for it by paying for the dinner, but we used to have a ball. So I would recommend do it and then decide if you want to go on.
I thought you were going to say no because it would take away from my business.
Well, but it's going to teach you so much more, like leadership and more about speaking. So I would recommend it. Absolutely. If I'm going to be in any club, I want to be the president. I want to be the leader. I don't want to just be a member. Right? Mm-hmm. Right? Angelique's the same way. So why not be the leader of it? Why not have a say so in what happens?
Oh, interesting. Well, I've been president, but okay. Then the other thing is I started writing a book last weekend, a short book on humor in presentations I worked with Henry yesterday morning. I think you had laughed and he was thinking a title of something like Laughing All the Way to the Bank or whatever. And then the subtitle, I have to think, How to Use Humor to Engage Future Customers. But I was thinking to add the word in presentations to engage future customers. And he thought that was a little long, but I'm going to be on the summit and want to talk for 20 minutes about using humor. And I thought writing down stuff in starting a book would help me get it organized in my head too.
Mm-hmm. So is the book literally about how to use humor to make money and get clients? Is that it?
Well, yeah. Well, the first chapter is on a humorous mindset, but yeah. And then I'm going to have one chapter with techniques.
Okay. So I would not use that title as is, laughing all the way to the bank, because that has been said. It might even be copyrighted, and it's a cliche. How many of you have heard laughing your way to the bank? But you can use part of it and change it up, like laughing your way to wealth, or laughing your way to sitting on a pile of money, laughing your way to a ton of money. I mean, anything different than bank. Okay, but having the same meaning, but do your own twist on it. Because Benita, you're funny, or you wouldn't be a tranquiloquist with all this funny stuff going on. So I want you to trust your instincts, and you do your sarcastic humor and put the twist on.
Uh-huh.
Laugh your way out of the poorhouse. I mean, there's millions of ways you can say it, right?
Yeah.
And then the byline is just an explanation of, in a way, what you said. But I agree with the other guy that whatever word you used, I don't even know how to say it, much less spell it. What did you use?
How to use humor and presentations to engage your audience.
Oh, and presentation. Yeah, I wouldn't. How to use humor to get clients, or how to use humor. Well, because the first one's all about money, right? So I think once you get the first one done, then the second one will flow. Okay, don't worry about the second yet. Go ahead, CJ.
How to turn laughs into cash.
Right.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, that's good too.
For the subtitle, I guess. Or, well, I don't know. It could even be a title.
It could be a title, but usually, yeah. But you can make your title short, right? And then put the cash, but you don't want to say bank at one point and cash at the second point, right? So,
right. And if anybody has something you'd like to read about in a book on using humor in presentations, DM me or let me know. That's my research. What do people want to know?
All right. Well, I think once you do your research and do some more in the book, we'll have you come and teach it.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so we'll do that instead. Sound good?
Yeah.
We could all use a little more humor. All right, well, then we're going to end. Ruben, stick around. Anybody who wants to stick around and help Ruben out, please do. But I'm just going to officially end it for our recording and in case anybody has to go, because we're a few minutes over the hour. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a perfect time to get those speaking engagements. We're only at the very beginning of the second month into the year. There are organizations who have not yet booked speakers. I don't know what you're lollygagging and waiting for. I want you to get out there and pick up the phone and pick up the email and DM people and Facebook them and whatever, and start getting those speaking engagements booked for the year. Now, this last month, January, I did 13. My goal was 12, and I did 13. That's the power of setting goals. And we talked about this when we talked about your speaker visions, right? So make sure you're setting goals for every single month and measure them. Measure them. All right. So next week, we're going to talk about the goals. I'm going to ask you, I'm going to give you a chance to add them up and bring them next week. We're also going to talk about YouTube and putting your Facebook Lives up on YouTube. So don't miss next week. Make sure you're here. Now, remember, get those speaking engagements, get out there and speak. And remember to always speak with passion. Mwah! Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.